Today I'm going to be using the Glamlite Fresh Prince of Bel-Air palette. It's got 15 colors in it. It's so 1980s. It's amazing. So I'm going to do a look with that. So first thing I am going to do is I am going to start with a color called Waterworks, which is right here. So I'm going to take that color, I'm going to dab in a couple times. Eyes already prepped with the camo concealer from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I'm going to keep my eyes open because, as you can see, I have partially hooded eyes. They're actually doing pretty decent today, but I'm going to go over the crease that's here because that's too low. If I do it down there, nobody's going to see it. So I'm going to go right here to where the crease is and then go slightly above. I can feel the bottom of my brow bone right there, and that is a marker for me on like where I should start putting the color so that people can see it. So I'm just going to go here and just lightly put that color. We're not digging in, we're not pushing in, we're just laying the color down, okay? And then we're going to go up this way, and the reason that I go up is because it makes your eyes look wider, and also because I have hooded eyes. So if you put everything going down, your eyes are going to be dragged down, which is okay for certain looks if that's what you're going for. But generally, I try and go up this way when I am doing color. So just going to go here and go above my crease and onto the bottom of my brow bone, which is right here. If you push in with your brush, you can feel it. And so that you know that you're in the right area where people can see your look, the shadow that you're putting on. Because I love doing makeup, but I ain't doing this for nothing. I ain't going through all this and then, I have to close my eyes for people to be able to see it. So that's why we do that, so that the color can be seen and what you're doing with your look can be seen. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to go a little bit up to the front. I always put in a little bit at a time, just because if anything, it's always easier to add more color than it is to try and take color off. I tend to start a little bit in the middle or towards the back, because where you place your brush the first time when you put on color is where the color is going to be the brightest, and generally you don't want that to be at the very front. So even if I'm going towards the front, I will start around here and then lightly go towards the front here. So you get more, see, no matter what I do, I just get like a light feathering of that color. I'm not getting a huge, look at the difference between the color payoff here, how that color goes on and how it goes on here. It's just lighter because of course there's less product on the brush because I've already laid product somewhere else. So I'm going to go on the other side and do the same thing. So we're going to start here, there again, there's my brow bone, and we're just going to go here. And then we're just lightly putting it on. Again, we're not crushing, we're not doing any of that. We're just laying it down, taking little bit by little bit, so that if we need to put on more, that's fine, but we don't have to worry about trying to take off color because we're gradually putting on color. And also it makes the color look nicer as well. Otherwise it just looks like a whole bunch of color that's been piled on, and it just looks, it can look a little like muddled, right? So we're just going to go like this. And then again, going towards the front, I always start like in the middle, at the very closest to the front. I start at the middle because again, you're going to have the most color where you start off with the brush because it has the most product, and you don't want that to be at the very front of your eye. Unless of course you do for a particular look, and then of course you can start in the front, but generally that's not what you're going for, so that's why I tend to do that. And you're just lightly placing the color you're not pushing it or pressing it into your skin. I'm holding my fluffy brush up to the tip. Okay? So I've just got it going like forward wise, like this, onto the area on my eye. And then I'm just gonna brush that off. I've got one of these. It's supposed to be a color changer where you just brush the brush on it and it takes off the color that you had on. And then on top of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the color called Bel Air right here, which is a lighter color. And I'm just going to go and dab twice into that color, tap it off, and then I'm just going to go above the color that I just put. Just going along the same shape. And I'm basically doing sort of like an 80s kind of look today because they're just such 80s color and it's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I'm just gonna go here, do the same thing. Going a little bit lighter on there. Okay. And then I'm going to wipe that off. And I'm just going to go on to that color and I'm just going to blend it out a little bit right here. Again, I'm moving my head. I mention it each time, I know. You guys get tired of hearing me saying that for the people that don't know me though and they don't see me. So I have a hand disability. So I move my head a lot in order to get the colors on because moving my wrists hurts and doing things with fine detail hurts. So that's why I hold my brushes kind of funny and I move my head when I do certain things. So I'll go like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to this color and it is called Pool House. And this is this really nice, deep, rich color right here. So you take that color, put it on the brush a few times. And this time I'm holding the brush, instead of going like sort of like at the tip, the point, see how I put the color sort of on the side. And then I'm going to pat it like on the side. Like holding it on the side and patting it in. And I'm just going to put it under that color and around just underneath my brow bone, which I can feel because it's like right there. I can feel it with my brush when I press in. Then I'm going to take some more of that color and do the same thing and then just bring it in, bring it up right here as well. So again, putting it on the side, laying it sideways, not the tip, but slightly sideways. Like I put it, the color on the side of the brush, and then I'm laying it down with the side of the brush. So I'm moving my area, but still doing it on the side. Still doing it lightly. We're not pressing in, we're just patting. I'm not like pushing it with force, but I'm patting it as opposed to what I was doing before was just doing like sort of side strokes. So this one, I'm really just patting it in like this, right? It's like different motions. So up here it was like this, right? Here I'm going pat, 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 pat. Going up towards the crease, like just below my brow bone again, on the bottom of where we put that pink color. So that's what I'm doing. Again, on the side of the brush, putting it in, and then I'm just going to bring it in a little bit more onto the lid. Okay. And then we're going to go here and just really lightly. Now we're just going to go in little circles a little bit, just in that area. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to dab twice, putting it on the side of the brush, and then we're just going to pat it down, bringing it in, feeling the bottom of the very bottom of the brow bone, and bringing it up towards the crease area, the bottom of where we laid that top color. So we're doing, and we're just going to be taking small amounts and continue to do the same thing. So I've actually had this palette for a while. I don't know why it took me so long to get to it. Mostly I think you never get like a palette or like a collection and then like you like it so much that you don't want to use it. I used to love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was like so excited when they came out with this collection, and then I got it and it's like so pretty. And it's almost like I don't want to touch it, like I don't want to put anything in there because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it just looks so nice, right? So again, side, just showing you that putting it on the side and then laying it down on the side. So I'm not going like this and going on the top of the brush. I'm going exactly where I put the color, which is on the side. So it just gives like a thicker, like a wider application. I shouldn't say thicker, I guess, but a wider application. And then I'm just bringing it over here towards this. And then I'm going to do it again, and I'm just going to bring it over like I did on the other side to a little bit of the lid. See how it just all kind of goes together there? Just going to bring it in the lid a little bit. Let's see if these are about the same. I think so. So I'm going to do one more side, and then we're just going to go like this, going into the crease. And what I did do, I noticed, is I lifted my eye on this one a little bit. So see how it's a little bit higher? Just this natural reaction to always want to lift your eye. So I'm going to take a side on here, and I'm going to go there, and like I'm going to just lift my eye, and that will give me about the same placement, because I went off a little bit because I wasn't concentrating on not lifting your eye. You have a tendency to want to do that, and when you have hooded eyes, or like with any, any shape eye actually, right? If you do that with one eye and then don't do it with the other, obviously the placement is not going to be the same, right? So I just went and did the exact same thing on the other side, so they'd be approximately the same. I mean, if somebody took out a millimeter and stick and measured it, I don't think any eye looks exactly the same on either side, but you want it to be, as close as possible. Right? And then I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to really softly do like circle motions. So it goes right here. And then I'm going to brush that off on this tin. If you have like a cloth or anything that you want to blush it off on, you can. I just want to get most of the color off, and then I'm just going to go a little bit to the front, just really lightly. I don't want a lot of color there. I just kind of want almost sort of like a fade in from that color that I'm putting like along the crease area. And let's see here, let's see there. I think I want to do one more hint of purple over in the corner here. This one seems a little darker to me. I don't know if it does to you, but to me it seems a little darker on that side, which tells me that I need to add a little bit here and really pat that in a little bit more. Again, like I say, it's not, nothing is going to be like totally exact, but you do want to get it, as close to the same as you possibly can. Right? So yeah, I actually kind of, I like that. Yeah, I think I like that blend right there, and I'm just going to go here a little bit. Not going out because I want this color up here to be visible. Just going along the lid here. And do the same with here as well. And yeah, I kind of like that, that flow of color, so. Now I am just going to blend a little bit on the top so that it goes in a little bit more with the color of my skin, so there's not just like a demarcation right there. So I'm just going to brush off my brush, and then I'm going to take a little bit of setting powder, like this much, that's it, and then just puff that up, and then I'm just going to go along the top, and I'm just going to go in little circles around here. And also to the front, so I'm just blending the colors in a little bit so that they sort of go in with the color of my skin, so there's not like a real difference between the lines, so the lines aren't so marked up. So I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to go around the edges like this and just super soft, and I'm just going to go one way. And then I'm going to go the other way. And see the difference there? Okay. So we're just going to blend it up, starting at the back, going to the front, just in little soft circles. And we're going to go this way, going up towards the front as well, and then just going back. Just super, super soft. And very, very small amount, like I mean you can barely see it on the brush, right? So that's what we're doing. Like that. And then another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blending brush. This one's a little bit more pointed, so if you can see the difference between this one is sort of rounded, and then this one is a little bit, the bristles are more sort of like tapered, going to a little bit more of a point. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to use this color here, which is called After Dark. It's just a little black color, but we're going to take like a smidge, like literally a smidge. So we're just going to go like this, boom, okay? And we're going to go to the end right here, and we're going to go right at the very bottom and just add that little bit of black. It doesn't take a lot of black to make an impact, so we want to make it a very small amount and want to be very careful about how much we're putting on there, okay? So we're just going to get a little bit here. I'm going to do another one. And all it's going to do is just add a little bit of depth to that purpley color that we have there. And I'm just going to swing it across my lash as well. Okay. It's just giving a little bit of darkness. You see that difference, like here and then here. It's not a ton, but just a little, and it's enough to make a difference. So we're going to do one swipe, and then we're going to, again, very small amount. Another swipe, swipe. Black is very powerful. Doesn't take a lot for it to do the job that you want it to do. So you want to start very small with it. Otherwise, it's just going to be, once it's too much, that's it. Like, how are you going to get that off, right? So we're just going to start really little. Just going to do the edge right here. I'm going to just fan out just a little bit now, like that, okay? And then I'm using the point and then just going like this. Okay. So to do the same thing on this side, we're going like this. And then we're gonna just bring it out just a little bit, not too much. And then we're gonna use the point, and we're gonna go point down, point down, point down, okay? And then like this. Then I'm gonna go back to the other one that we had, and I'm just going to just pat, pat, pat on that one there. Just kind of put it all together. Okay? Look how much like deeper and richer that made it look. Just that little bit of black, and we just soft tap, swipe actually on there, and then just put it on, and it makes a difference. So I think for me, I think this one's a little bit darker right there, so I'm gonna try and do it right here. So I'm just gonna take a swipe, okay, and then just go along that area there and try to make it about the same. So one more for me. I mean, you do it until you're happy with what you see, okay? There. And then what I'm going to do to jazz this up a little bit, jazz, like DJ Jazzy Jeff, I'm going to take this really light color here, and I'm going to swipe it along the front. So what I'm going to do is, I have the concealer there already, don't have any glitter glue. I'm still on the hunt for glitter glue that it isn't going to cost me like $50 to get it here in Canada. And I'm just going to stick my finger in this pink color here, and it is called Big Bags. And I'm just going to swirl my finger around, and then we're going to go to the front, and we're just going to lay that color. Ooh, that's pretty. Lay that color down right here. Oh, that's really nice actually. I really like that color. And then we're just going to tap it here. I'm going to go up right here, and then I'm just going to tap it right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing obviously on the other side. So you go like that, grab my finger in there, and then I'm just going to, that is, look at that. That's a really pretty color. And it like looks nice with the colors that we've got. So and also to remember that if you don't have this, you don't need this palette. I happen to have this palette. I really wanted to use it, but basically you're just looking for something that has like a light pink color, and then this sort of purple, and then a very rich color. That's what you're looking for. And you can really do this with any color using the exact same thing, right? So you're just going for something that's really bright, then you want a medium that's shades darker, that's in the same family, and then a deep rich color to put on. So you could do it with, you know, I could have done it with the greens or the blues, right? So this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna grab my eyeliner and we're gonna go from there. Now, what would an 80s look be like without the color underneath? So we're going to do that. So we're going to start with this dark color here. I've got an even more pointed brush. You could use something smaller. I just can't find mine right now. The more angled it is, the better. Or if you have one of the small smudge ones, which is the same shape as this, just a lot shorter, that would be really good too, like ones that you use to smudge a liner with. So I'm going to start with this color here, and I'm going to dab into here a couple of times, and I'm just going to go like this underneath the eye right here. Okay. And then I'm going to do that again. This is just to make sure that you know, so this is the Pool House color. That's the darker one that we use. So I'm just going to go in there, and then I'm going to just underneath my eye, right here. Okay. Nice and dark, that's how we used to do it. And then I'm going to take this color right here, which is the Waterworks, and I'm going to go here, tap, tap twice, and then I'm just going to lightly put it over here. So I don't want a whole bunch of dark color over in this way, so we're just going to soften it up a little bit with that color, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Just soften it up a little bit. And now we're going to do liner, and we're going to do the 80s liner today. So this is what we used to do back in the day. They call it tight lining now. Back in the 80s, we just called it putting on your eyeliner. It's tight lining. This is really good for people with hooded eyes, partially hooded like mine, and also if you're fully hooded, this is a really good way to make it look like you have eyeliner on. It's not going to transfer up because it's not actually going above your eye area. So the trick with this is to have like a nice black liner. I would just put up my eye, and what you're going to do, I'm just going to be looking in the mirror, but you're not going to go down like here, down to the bottom of your eye. This is not what we used to do back then either. So what you're going to do is you're going to go really just right above, like into your lashes, and put the liner in there. Okay, so look at how my eye just became a lot darker because I look like I have eyeliner on, but I really don't. So I'm just going to put my finger here again. I'm just going to show you again. So I know it's hard because my eyes are kind of flickering, which they will do because you know you're putting something right on your eye. And then we're just going to put that on like that. Okay, you're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Again, you're not going down to the clear part of your eye. You're literally just putting it like right below your lashes or right in between your lashes. If you're really good, you can do it just like this. I find for me personally, it just does a better job when I actually lift the eye. And if you're scared about ruining your makeup, you can always take a Q-tip or something else like this and then bring the area up, okay? But again, you're not putting the color down here. You're putting it right up along your lashes, okay? And then I'm going to do it again and do it underneath. Same thing. We're not doing all the way up here. We're just going right along the lashes and adding that color, okay? Just going down a little bit, go like this, okay? And again, if you're really good, you can just go like this and just put it along your lashes this way. For me, with my hands, it's just easier if I go like this, but you don't have to. You can always just like go like this and do it, okay? And also, if you like, you could also put the color above if that's what you wanted to. So you could go and do the tight lining. And then for me, I do have the ability to kind of just, you know, put it along the top. And you can do that as well for a bit of added color. Now you notice that when I put my liner on, and this is something that I do, and again, you don't have to press your skin up. You can do it the other way. That I just go like this, and then when I get to the front, I open up my eye. And the reason that I do that is so that I don't get a whole bunch of black like right in here, because if you tend to, when you have your eyes closed at the very front when you're doing that, that the product will actually transfer to the lower part of your eye. Now I want this a little bit brighter, so I'm going to put in a little bit more yellow. I mean not yellow, a little bit more of this pink glitter here, which is called Big Banks. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness, like I'm in love with this right here. So I'm going to add a little bit more than that, because again, when you add color, sometimes it detracts from the color that you already have on. So you just need to do a little top up to get the same effect as what you had before. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there. And that's our look, and I'll come back when everything is completed to show you. But what do you think? Let me know what you think about this look. I hope you guys are having a great day.